Hey guys, it's Rachel Castile. Welcome to Heartwork Monday here at Typology Corner. This series is all about healing your heart through the lens of the Enneagram and learning to grow in a way that honors your real experience. And today we're going to be talking about something tender and powerful, and that is reconnecting with the child within. The child who felt deeply, who believed boldly, and somewhere along the way learned to survive by becoming someone that they weren't. This is the journey back. So that's what we're going to get into today. And I'm going to start with why inner child work matters. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like, what healing looks like for each of the 9 Enneagram types, and how to come home to your real self. So, yeah, let's get started. Each of us heard different messages growing up. Some were spoken, others were silent, but they shaped us nonetheless. And this is so true. The descent into the coping strategy, where the initial wound started, like it's kind of hard to identify. As children, we shut it out. I shut out a lot of my pain, but I was left with the emotional unrest and the anxiety, the shame, the performance that came out of those wounds. This place in me that I didn't feel okay being seen at all. Like, yeah. So these messages, whether spoken or if it's just situations that you were in, things that, how you process things that you went through. Um, Generally, this happens before the age of 6, the pattern, the inner child receiving its first woundings that become really pivotal and shaping in life. It comes from messages either spoken over us or nonverbal messages in the environment of what was not said that spoke louder than maybe something being said that shapes and molds the child, their perspective of the world. But yeah, our type formed as a strategy to survive these early wounds. And the pain of childhood doesn't disappear when we become adults. It's so true. It burrows in and becomes the script behind our pattern, our triggers, and our shame. Yeah. We get really good as adults concealing our pain, covering our shame, not letting people see how afraid or how anxious we feel, how unsettled we feel with our identity, um, how unsafe we feel in the world, our patterns of protecting ourselves. Um, Yeah. And a lot of times we forget when it happened. We forget what even affected us. We shut it out. We think we're fine. But it doesn't disappear, it's still there. We disconnect from our real self and we form new identities. We form new strategies. But beneath it all is a child who was never broken. This is what I want to emphasize. We were never broken, just burdened. We are carrying a lot of stuff. Our real self we can disassociate from, and then we learn how to navigate life. But yeah, we're as a child, our inner child is not broken. We're just burdened down with a lot of things. Inner child work is about meeting that child again, not to fix them, but to finally see them, to remember the truth of who you are, and to walk the path back to your original wholeness. This is the journey we're all on. We all carry trauma differently. We had different upbringings, different stories, different pain. This is so important. This is why I love the Enneagram, because the journey looks different. It really does. And not only our Enneagram types, but what we've been through, the things we have to process, the things we have to see from another perspective. How do we find our authentic value apart from what was done to us? Apart from bullying, teasing, abuse, different family dynamics. All these things play into our unique journeys. So our healing journeys will look different from one another. There's no one pace, no one method, no one timeline. So, yeah, I love the Enneagram because it kills comparison. It's like, no, you have your own process, you have your own journey, you have your own way that you dealt with your childhood. So, yeah, I want to emphasize that you're not behind, you got your own pace. You're just learning to move in rhythm with your own heart. This is so important. I'm learning to stay connected to my heart while I'm making content. I'm learning to stay connected in my relationships, in my friendships. How do I live from what's really going on in my heart? How do I be honest in that journey? And for me, what it looks like is slowing down. I can be moving so fast that I don't notice I'm in the coping strategy. I'm in performance. I'm in focusing on you. I'm tuned into you and I'm showing up for you. And I'm deathly afraid that you'd ask about how I'm really doing, or that you notice something about my heart that is not at ease, that you notice, like, man, you seem tense. I'm like, oh, I'm good. No, don't look at me. Let me look at you. Um, that's me as a type 2, the helper, the giver. It's easy for me to do that. So, I just want to like demonstrate my journey back to my heart, on camera, and that it may give you grace in finding that for yourself. I know it looks different if you're not a type 2. I'm going to get into what that looks like for each type, but I want to remain authentic in that it's not always easy. Um, it's learning a rhythm, like learning the flow of my heart. I'm My nervous system, every part of me is learning that I can show up differently than the way my body always taught me, like how I responded to things, how I dealt with keeping myself safe. I'm having to remind myself I don't have to do that anymore. I have I have freedom. I'm free, how to teach my body not to be tense. Like I deal with like shoulder tension a lot, like especially like on camera. And I release my tension a lot through burping and like yawning as I physically release these old patterns. Um so yeah, I just encourage you, as you listen to this video, as you listen for your unique pattern, as I get into the individual Enneagram types, take a deep breath and let your body rest. Let your body notice it's what's coming up in it. And don't feel ashamed as it's happening, as these things start to unravel in you. It's all a part of the process. Like if we're used to pushing our trauma down, as it starts to come up, it has to come up in some way. It shows up in some way. So give give yourself permission to experience it and to not be condemned, and to know that it's coming up to come out. It has to be expressed in some way. Um, but yeah, we're learning to move at the rhythm of our own hearts again, to be in tune. That's a journey that can't be compared to anybody else. When we honor our own rhythm, we stop comparing and we start to become defenders of each other's healing. This is something I really want to emphasize, is yes, this is a cultural change when you stop comparing. I've talked about this on a different video, but yeah, when we let go of comparison, we start to create safe spaces for one another. And that's what's possible the more we tune into what am I going through? What is my process? That we're not afraid to look at and to see the truth of our own journey. We also know each and every other person is on their own unique journey as well. And we can begin to support one another and being able to communicate that authentic journey and not have to conceal that or push it down or try to connect through appearing like we don't have things that we're walking through. We're all walking through things. We're all on a journey of healing and wholeness and self-discovery. So that's something I really value, and I want to emphasize in this work that I'm doing in talking about this. So, all right, now let's look at what that journey might feel like for each type. So I'm going to have a rhythm in how I share on each one of these. And each section, as I go from type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we're going to look at the childhood message that showed up for the type, the lie that the child came to believe, and then the coping strategy, the path to healing, and then a healing meditation or affirmation for the type. And I'm going to read through it. I might sit on some of them, I might not. All of it's there. And just to let you feel what it's like for each type, the journey, how it started, and how to come back to yourself. And I just also want to emphasize in the meditation, excuse me, y'all. Huh. In the meditation, I'm gonna have to talk through it. In the meditation or the affirmation, I guess stuff is just coming up in me, y'all. In the meditation or affirmation, just know that it's so important to affirm yourself, to train yourself with the truth. So once you find your type, if you need to make a clip of that, like, do so. Write down the affirmation. I just want to speak to my journey. Once you see your type, you now know what medicine you need. So, yeah, prescribe that medicine regularly to yourself. So I just want to emphasize that, the importance of knowing what your heart needs and giving yourself that dosage every day to heal yourself, to renew your mind, to remind your heart of what is true. When your heart begins to believe what it needs to hear, the childhood message loses its power in your life. The coping strategy breaks, and you can return to presence. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Okay. Type 1. Type 1 is the reformer, the perfectionist. The message that they heard as a child is it's not okay to make mistakes. It's not okay to make mistakes. That hit them in some way. They're like, these messages, 4 or 5 years old, 3, this is when the child heard it. Their response to that is they tried to be good to avoid shame. They internalized the idea that love had to be earned through perfection. That kid that's always good, never makes a mistake. You're so proud of them. This might be what's going on with them too. So check in that they know it's okay to make mistakes. They tried to be good to avoid shame. They internalized the idea that love had to be earned through perfection. So they became rigid, critical, and striving. Coping strategy. But their heart longs to rest. There's no rest in this. They long to just be okay with themselves. They long to rest. Can you feel that? That's what the child, when I said the child's not broken, they're burdened. This is the burden sitting on the type 1 child. They became rigid, critical, and striving, but their heart longs to rest. They're not at rest. Okay, now their healing path for type 1. Your inner child needs to hear, you're already doing good. You don't have to earn love by getting it right. Mistakes don't make you bad, they make you human. You are safe to be flawed and still loved. I love it. There's healing for every person. If you can come to a place where you're willing to see yourself, it can be very vulnerable. You can feel naked. There is hope. That's what I want to speak over you. There is hope. There is hope. You're already good. You don't have to earn love by getting it right. Mistakes don't make you bad, they make you human. You are safe to be flawed and still loved. And then the meditation for type 1 is I am good, even when I get it wrong. I release the pressure to be perfect. I return to the joy of simply being. Write that down, put it on a note card, put it on your mirror. Tell yourself that every day. I am good even when I get it wrong. I release the pressure to be perfect. I return to the joy of simply being. Awesome. Okay, next, type 2, the helper, the giver. The childhood message that they heard is your needs aren't as important. Your needs aren't as important. I'm a type 2. Talking about my needs isn't as important. Being heard, expressing my own needs, pushed out of the way, shoved down, gaslit. Yeah, I'll continue to talk about my journey, but I don't want to overemphasize it. But yeah, guys, this is so real. Childhood type 2, your needs aren't as important. They felt love was conditional on giving, pleasing, and being needed by others. So they shaped themselves around others and abandoned themselves. Became the good friend. Tuned into the other person. Felt mentioning my needs was selfish. Can't do that. It's asking too much of other people. Y'all, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm doing this on camera. I don't want this stuff to stay in me. As it comes up, I'm letting it come out. Childhood message, the lie. Love is conditional on giving, pleasing, and being needed. So I shaped myself around others and abandoned myself. Okay, now the healing path for type 2. Your inner child needs to hear your needs matter too. You don't have to earn love by giving yourself away. You are worthy of receiving. I'm learning this right now. Like, it's every day. Like, healing is layers. It's layers upon layers upon layers. I'm learning this in friendships right now. I don't have to give myself away to earn love. I'm worthy of receiving. My needs matter too. I can talk about my needs. It's not selfish. It's not selfish to make the conversation about me. You are worthy of receiving. You're worthy of receiving, type 2. Now, here's the meditation for type 2s. I am loved for who I am, not what I give. My needs are valid. I am allowed to rest in care. And care for myself. I'm allowed to rest. I am loved for who I am, not what I give. My needs are valid. I am allowed to rest in care. Yeah. I'm allowed to tell my heart journey. I'm allowed to look at my needs. I'm allowed to prioritize my life around my needs that they're met and to give from overflow. Yeah. So that's type 2's process of coming home to themselves. Next is type 3, the achiever or performer. Some of these are labeled more associated to like wing types, but yeah, the achiever is type 3. The childhood message that they heard is you are only valued for what you do. You're only valued for what you do. Get back in touch with the child you. We're looking at 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. You're only valued for what you do. Can you see what that would do to a child? It's like, oh, I need to get straight A's. I need to win. I need to beat the other person. I need to be the best. I'm going to get celebrated when I get the trophy. They learned to perform, succeed, and prove themselves. But they lost connection with who they really are. Ouch. They don't know they're valued for themselves anymore. They have to look away from themselves, identify with an image. That's what starts happening. Keeping that image up. Can't show where you really are. And the healing path for type 3 is your inner child needs to hear you are enough just by being. You don't have to perform to be seen. You are already valuable. You already carry great value. Yeah. This is my wing type, so I highly relate to type 3. Yeah. You can tell the truth. You can tell the truth. You can show your real journey. Authenticity is your superpower. Yeah. And now the meditation for type 3 is I am worthy without the mask. I rest in my true identity. I bring value by being real. I am worthy without the mask. I rest in my true identity. I bring value by being real. Yeah. Next, for type 4, the individualist or the romantic. The childhood message that they heard, it's not okay to be too much or not enough. I can see that. Yeah. It's not okay to be too much or not enough. This led to a withdrawing, withholding happiness, withholding joy, withholding their pain. They felt misunderstood, unseen, and longed for belonging. So they turned inward, searching for identity through intensity, the intensity of their inner landscape, of their emotions, looking for identity in the world of emotion. Do you hear this in yourself or in a child around you? Watch for this, because the coping strategies start very young, very, very young. This is a response to a lie. It's not okay to be too much or not enough. So yeah. And the healing path for type 4 is your inner child needs to hear you are not too much. You are not missing something. You belong. You were never meant to blend in. You were made to shine. You're not supposed to regulate yourself up against other people or compare yourself. That's what happens. Type 4 descends into comparison, into envy, feeling that something's missing in them and that others have it. And it's just not true. You were not too much. You were not missing something. You belong. You were never meant to blend in. You were made to shine. People around you pushed you down, maybe didn't have space for all the emotion that you were experiencing. They didn't give room. They blamed you. They deflected. You were never the problem. It was not your fault for family issues. It was not your fault that you couldn't identify in either of your parents. It was not a negative reflection of something's wrong with you. And the meditation for type 4 is I am whole as I am. I embrace my depth with kindness. I am already home. I'm already home. It's not outside of me. I'm already home. I am whole as I am. I embrace my depth with kindness. I am already home. I love this. You feel the power of truth. It breaks the lie. It breaks that message, that tape. This is the medicine. This is the antidote. Next, type 5, the investigator. The childhood message that they heard is it's not okay to be fully present. Ooh, it's not okay to be fully present. Have you seen a child that pulls away, that doesn't feel safe in the present? I highly relate to 5. I haven't talked about tri-types, but pretty sure my tri-type is 258. They're the types I can see myself in the most. It's not okay to be fully present. They felt intruded on, so they retreated inward and found safety in distance. But deep down, they long for connection. They felt intruded on, so they retreated inward and found safety in distance. The strategy. But deep down, they long for connection. And now the healing path for type 5 is your inner child needs to hear. You are safe to be here. You don't have to disappear to feel okay. You are enough, even when you're seen. This is helping type 5 to come out of the mind, back into the presence, to share their thoughts, to share where they are, to be there, and to know that they're enough. That they don't have to go research and prepare to be okay, to join the present. You are safe to be here. You don't have to disappear to feel okay. You are enough, even when you're seen. It doesn't require anything extra of you. You can be seen, you're enough, you can just be. You're safe to be here. Presence is so important. I'm just kind of pausing here. Presence is where we heal. As we come to the presence and we let truth meet our hearts, it can be reworked. It can be healed. So the meditation for type 5 is I trust that my presence matters. I open gently. There is safety in connection. That is so healing. I can feel it. I trust that my presence matters. I can open gently. There is safety in connection. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay. Type 6, the loyalist. The childhood message that type 6 heard. I want to reiterate 5, 6, and 7 are in the head triad. So they leave presence into fear. They coping strategy is managing things about safety, security, certainty. Types 2, 3, and 4 are in the heart triad. They're managing shame, identity, worth, related things. Types 8, 9, and 1 are in the gut triad. They are more anger related, managing anger and justice and boundaries and kind of resisting and pushing in a way. So just some context of similarities as you hear this. So type 6 in the head triad, the loyalists, the message that they heard as a child is the world isn't safe. You can't trust yourself. The world isn't safe. You can't trust yourself. You can't trust your inner voice. The world isn't safe. This is where fear takes hold in the type 6. The child. They looked for safety, guidance, and safety in others. This is how they managed it. They began to look for safety, guidance, security, guidance, and safety in others, trying to prepare for what could go wrong. I can't listen to my inner voice. I can't trust my decisions. I need to look to others to help me make decisions. And I need to prepare for everything that could go wrong. I need to scan the horizon for what could go wrong. This hurts my heart. Thinking about this is the real journey of children. This is the real experience of children. Of us. We are all children who grew up. Adults and children all matter. This is the journey. To come back to ourselves. We are these children. So the healing path for type 6 is your inner child needs to hear. You are safe. You can trust your own wisdom. Fear doesn't have to run the show anymore. You are safe. You can trust your own wisdom. Fear doesn't have to run the show anymore. You can be still and know. You can listen. Be still and listen and hear and trust and step out in what you hear. It's okay to break away from the external systems, the external authorities that you put your trust in, to hear and to trust your own wisdom. Fear doesn't have to run the show anymore. You are safe. And the meditation for type 6, the affirmation, is I am safe to trust myself. I stand on solid ground. Courage is already within me. That's the virtue of type 6, is courage. I am safe to trust myself. I stand on solid ground. Courage is already within me. Fear doesn't have to dictate you anymore. You're more powerful than fear. So yeah. Next, type 7, the enthusiast, the adventurer. The message that they heard, one sec. Type 7, the message that they heard is it's not okay to be sad or dwell on pain. The child that believed it's not okay to be sad or dwell on pain can't do that. This is the lie that pierced type 7's heart. They learn to escape sadness by staying busy and light, reframing, shifting into something that they like, looking away, running to something happy, being optimistic. But the pain is still there under the surface. Yeah. They built up an aversion to looking at it. It's that fear of being trapped in it. Is it forever? I don't know how to process this. It's not okay to be sad. It's not okay to dwell on pain. Just look away. Let's just plan something positive. Let's go do something fun. Let's plan a trip. Let's go have a party. Let's get drunk. Let's just look away from this. Let's laugh. Let's joke around. They learn to escape sadness by staying busy and light, but the pain is still there under the surface. Yeah. The healing path for type 7 is your inner child needs to hear. You don't have to run. Your emotions are safe with me. This is trust related in relationships. This is what they need to discover. You don't have to run. Your emotions are safe with me. Can you feel how transformative that would be for a child that's been struggling with this? You don't have to run. Your emotions are safe with me. You are free to feel and still be full of life. The optimism is a beautiful thing. The enthusiast, the adventurer, the freedom seeker, the one that wants to live in abundance. You still get to. You are free to feel and still be full of life. It's beautiful. Now the meditation for type 7 is I welcome all of my feelings. There is beauty in stillness. Joy and pain can coexist. I welcome all my feelings. There is beauty in stillness. Joy and pain can coexist. That's the beauty of feeling. Letting yourself feel, you're going to feel the pain, but you're going to feel the joy all the more. They can coexist. When you love someone, you're going to feel everything. And it's better to be alive. It's better to know. This is part of being a living being, is I can feel it all. And that's what being fully alive really is. I can feel the full spectrum. I welcome all my feelings. There's beauty in stillness, joy and pain can coexist. It's liberating. Next, type 8, the challenger. We're moving into the gut triad. And yeah, looking at anger, protection, resisting, pushing against the world. Sort of themes within these types. So yeah, type 8 is the challenger. And the childhood message that they heard is it's not safe to be soft or vulnerable. Oh, it's not safe to be soft or vulnerable. That didn't go well. I did that and it hurt. I was betrayed. I was taken advantage of. It's not okay to be soft or vulnerable. Can you see what that would do to a child if they believed this lie? It's not safe to be soft or vulnerable. And I call it a lie, but like I don't want to negate like the strategy worked. This is how we actually protected ourselves, got through situations, and made it out intact. This is how we protected our inner child. We took on the burden of these beliefs. It's not safe to be soft or vulnerable. Their reaction to that is they put on armor to protect their sensitivity, showing strength even when they were hurting. It's not safe to be soft or vulnerable. It's not safe to show your pain. It's not safe to show that you're hurting. They became strong. They grew up fast. They began to bully so that they wouldn't be bullied. Potentially, it's pushing against the world, pushing against, staying in power, staying in control. And the healing path for type 8, your inner child needs to hear. You are safe to soften. You are loved, even in your tenderness. You don't have to fight to be safe anymore. You are safe to soften. You are loved, even in your tenderness. You don't have to fight to be safe anymore. It's knowing that you won't be betrayed. You won't be taken advantage of. And sometimes we have to find new relationships to experience this. There's places where we really were taken advantage of because of our softness. Like these strategies are rooted in real life experiences that we walk through, that these things seem like the only thing that could possibly be true. But this is how we unlearn this as adults, to come back to our real selves, that we don't disconnect from our center, from who we really are. Type 8 is a very tender-hearted person. And this is their journey back. You don't have to fight to be safe anymore. And the meditation and affirmation for type 8 is, I release the need to protect. There is power in softness. I am safe to be seen. I release the need to protect. There is power in softness. I am safe to be seen. You're still going to be strong, but your softness, your tenderness is what makes you even stronger, that you live with that, where people can feel you, where you can be touched. And now for type 9, they're also in the gut triad. They are called the peacemaker. And the childhood message that they heard is your voice doesn't matter. Your voice doesn't matter. I'm still blown away that I leave this in the video. It's necessary. But yeah, type 9, they heard your voice doesn't matter. Imagine a child, that lie hitting their heart. This is what seems true. This is the truth. This is reality. That's how we have to see these. These childhood messages are reality. So you look away from it, like this is the way life is. They live from it. They might never say this, or it's hard to even admit the childhood message that actually is driving us. Your voice doesn't matter. And their response, how they dealt with this, is they merged with others. getting along to get along, often losing sight of themselves. Push themselves down, deny their real feelings, deny their passions, deny their anger, merge with others, create peace, avoid conflict by looking away from the self, knowing that other people's voices matter, struggle to assert their own. In the healing path for type 9, your inner child needs to hear. Your presence is powerful. Your voice deserves to be heard. You are here for a reason. Your presence is powerful. Your voice deserves to be heard. What you have to say will change the world, will change your relationships. Yes, it's going to create a wave, right? The potential conflict. Your presence is powerful. Your voice deserves to be heard. And you are here for a reason. You have your own mission, your own purpose, your own aspirations, your own passions that you were created to release into the world. Things you were created to say that's going to shift things. Your voice is worth the conflict that potentially can happen when you speak. And the meditation for type 9 is, I honor my own rhythm. I speak with courage. My presence brings peace. It's the real peacemaker that you are. Your presence brings peace, not at the expense of you, but this is the effect. So it might confront some things that need to get moved out the way, but your presence brings actual peace. I honor my own rhythm. I speak with courage. My presence brings peace. So yeah, that is all 9 types. And now let's just talk about coming home again, more on what that looks like. So first off, it's not about fixing yourself. As you can hear, it's not about changing who you are. It's learning the truth that your heart needs to know, remembering your core, remembering the child, remembering your value, what you carried before the coping strategy kind of sent you in the opposite direction away from it. I like to talk about type 6, like courage is their virtue, but fear and anxiety is what they find themselves trapped in. It's like this opposite spectrum for all the types. So yeah, it's not about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you to be anything else. Family dynamics can shape people right out of their divine identity, right out of what they actually carry, out of their essence, out of the gift, because the gift can be a threat to the structures that the family is built on. The dominoes can fall. The house of cards can fall over by just one gift that's born into the family. And that's why the patterns can like shift us all right out of our identities so that nobody awakens it, knocks over the trauma house of cards, and how us, if we're all adults who survive through looking away from our trauma, we have to deter the new incoming child who wants to like talk about it, wants to deal with it, wants to face it, wants to expose it, wants to heal it. It's the purpose of exposure, is to heal, to transform. So these are the structures that send us away from our authentic selves, because it's painful. We might lose relationships. We might get made fun of, slandered, lied on. But it's so important to come back home to our real selves, to remember who we were before the world told you to be something other than what you are. And your healing path might look different than someone else's. That's not a problem. That's not a flaw. Like, you have to embark on your own journey. You have to identify your own path, your own process. What you struggle with, another person could laugh at and be like, that's so crazy. That doesn't make any sense. Like, so weird, people who struggle with that. They're not wired like you. Yeah. So it's not a flaw, it's evidence of your wholeness. If you can identify that your healing path looks different, it's evidence of your wholeness. That is your path of wholeness. You're looking at yourself. You're actually seeing your real identity. You're seeing your actual inner workings of your heart. It's evidence that you're individuating, that you can see yourself apart from others. You have your own purpose, you have your own process. So wholeness for you is not blending in with the family, with the church, with the community, your job, your career. Wholeness, the journey of wholeness is looking at the self, acknowledging what you need, walking that out. You're learning to hear your child self again, to respond with compassion instead of criticism. This is literally the beginning. If you can't look at yourself without condemning yourself, you'll never want to know your Enneagram type. You'll never want to get typed. You'll never want to see this for yourself because it's very revealing. You're learning to look at the gold under the mess of the coping strategy. The coping strategy can feel embarrassing when you see it, but it's sitting on top of the gold, the treasure that you actually are, the child that you always were. It's about uncovering her again, uncovering him, and letting him shine, letting him blossom, giving him the care that he needs to like dust himself off, to clean himself up, to take off all the lies, the burdens. You're seeing me like burping and like all this stuff coming up in my shoulders. Like, I'm letting my burdens go. I'm letting it come up and out of me, that my real self can reemerge on camera, to be here with you guys, to not perform in being here, but to let my actual heart speak. That is the purpose of the work of the Enneagram. That's why I'm talking about this stuff. That's why I'm showing you my journey live right now, that you know it's not shameful. I have to take the shame off of releasing trauma. It's not shameful. It's the best thing you could possibly give yourself to take time to rest, to hear yourself. You're worth it. You're worth the time. You're worth slowing your life down to get in touch with you. Book a session with me if that's something that you feel. If you feel that now, like, go book the session. My website is in the description, typologycorner.com. Go book it. Enneagram typing session. You pick the time slot that you want and I'll be there. We'll meet. I'll send you some preliminary stuff. My process of taking a free assessment, it's going to give you your top 3 possibles, and I'm going to help you narrow down. I'm going to prepare the session. Upon you reading over the core motivations of all the types and to tell me which ones you relate to the most, and then I'm going to help you narrow down to really know the core of what's driving you, what's motivating you. And I even coach based on type. I have a 5-session series that I coach people through their patterns and processing how that's showing up for them, and how to begin to work through this stuff, to come into the truth of who you are, of the value that you carry, and what life looks like in health and wholeness. What is your path? You have a unique path. It's your own. So yeah, book the session. Book the session today. I'm available. My schedule's all in there. You pick a time slot that's within my availability. We meet on Zoom, an hour session of you getting to see you, getting to love you, getting to embrace your process. Yeah. So you're learning to hear your child self again, to respond with compassion instead of criticism, to offer truth instead of shame. Truth instead of shame. How does truth touch your heart? It's when you don't allow shame to keep you in the dark anymore. It's coming forth and saying, what I am is not shameful. My process is not shameful. Me talking about my type is not shameful. This is my journey. This is my life. This is my lived experience. And that's my heart with Typology Corner, is I want to feature real stories. People talking about their Enneagram journey, peeling off the lies for the beautiful truth to emerge and to display what that looks like. We are walking back to our worth. This is the path back home. And in doing so, you don't just heal yourself, you become a safe place for others to heal. That is the beautiful effect of healing. Healing people heal people. We give what we didn't have as we begin to give it to ourselves. So the journey starts with you, coming to know you. So yeah, guys, that is it for today. I'd love to hear which part of your story that this spoke to today. What part of your journey can you see yourself in these stories, in these paths that I shared? What part of your childhood did this speak today? Did this heal something? Did this bring clarity, some understanding about what you walked through? Did this give you grace for how you process life? If a child who is so open and reality begins to teach them something, and that reality is a lie, we didn't have any choice but to descend into some way to cope with that being reality. It's the truth sets us free and a lie binds us. So as we can identify the lie, we can then break it and we can live liberated as we were meant to be. A child is meant to live out their gifts and to just bring it to the world, a new deposit into the world, to change it, to shift it. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what part of your story did this speak to today? I'd love to hear it, even if it's just a single one-liner. I'd love to hear what this spoke to. And if you know your Enneagram type, share it with me. I'd love to know what type you are, and just to hear who out there is listening in, and how this spoke to you within your own type. And yeah. And if it touched, let me see, I've written out some notes. And if this touched something deep in you, send it to someone you love. Yes. See, this is a vulnerable moment. I'm like, oh, my outline. I didn't know my next line that I wanted to emphasize. But yeah, share your type, share what spoke to you. And if this touched you, share it with someone that you love, that you know, has been walking through something, that's been struggling in their childhood. Like, listen for your heart, for if a name comes up, somebody that as you were hearing the stories, you're like, that reminds me of so-and-so. That reminds me of them. Man, they were going through that. I can see that. Maybe send this video over to them, and you really don't know the healing that you sharing this could do in them. The hope it could give them. That's what it's all about for me. Share this out with somebody that needs some help, that needs some perspective, that needs some light shed on things. It might give them permission to start talking about their journey. They might open up to you in a way that they never have before. That's the power of this space here at Heartwork Mondays. That's what it's all about. Invite your friends, invite your family. Subscribe also. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the Facebook page. This is a space for heart healing. Every single week, diving into different topics. Check out the archives as well. There's other episodes I've done that covers this from a different angle. But yeah, if you got value out of this, go and give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate knowing that it made an impact, that it changed something in your life, in a small or a big way. And also, I have a Patreon. If you want to be in a community that is a space for growth, a space for asking questions, of just sharing your real journey, asking questions about what you're walking through, wanting clarity on your type. If you know your type, there's so much to learn and explore, and I love discussion. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's $7 a month. The link is in the description for the Patreon. And I answer questions every week. Whenever people do ask questions, I do a weekend video answering that called Corner Conversations. When I don't have questions, sometimes I'll just post from my own journey, but it has a private Discord community of people talking about their real life and sharing about their type, want to nerd out, ask questions, talk about objective personality, Myers-Briggs, the Enneagram. That's what it's all about. If that's something you're interested in, or if you just want to support the work that I'm doing, sign up and become a patron. I really appreciate each and every person that donates to help me do more and more of this work. My heart is to do this full time, to coach and help people heal, process their trauma, and overall just to create a safe space for these conversations. So I'd love to have you in the community. If you're just growth minded, looking for a safe place, if you just want to support the work that I do, it'd be an honor to have you in the community. So I just want to put that out there. And that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I bless you in your journey, and I will see y'all on the next one.